Hello, welcome back to our lesson number 2, inverse variation. So, in here, our main goal is to illustrate situations that involve inverse variation. And also, I want you to translate an inverse variation statement into relationship sa dalawang quantities using table of values, mathematical equation, and graph. And this is the main goal for this particular lesson. So, shall we begin? Yes. So, let us define first this particular topic. So, inverse variation, if the quantity y varies inversely, with the value of x, okay, y varies inversely. I use inversely, kabaligtaran to nung unang topic natin na direct variation. Ito naman ay indirect. Okay? So if there exists a non-zero constant, ibig sabihin si constant na k, hindi dapat zero yan, such that y equals k over x. So this is gonna be the formula representation for you to find the y. Okay? So ito rin ibig sabihin ng y varies inversely with the value of x, or equivalently, xy is equal to k. For you to find the k here, you have to multiply the two variable x and y. Again, the k is yan yung constant natin, yung constant term natin. Okay? So that is very important when we are dealing with this particular equation, because this equation help us find the y value. Okay? Kapag given yung constant is always the same, then we can easily find the formula representation for inverse variation. Also, y varies inversely as the nth power, okay, as the nth power of particular x. Nth power, we are using the exponent. If there exists a non-zero real number k such that y equals k over x n. So kapag may exponent na tayo dito na greater than 1, then ito na yung gagamitin nating formula. Okay? So, now, in here, I will be presenting you the math tip na kailangan mong tandaan for this particular topic. So, here, we have a proportion can also be used in relation. So, in relation to direct variation in solving problems where the sum quantities are known. So, ibig sabihin, meron lang ditong quantities na ibinigay, pero may mga quantities tayo or may quantity dito na kailangan mong hanapin. So, ibig sabihin, pwede mong gamitin itong procedure na proportion. Okay? So, the following proportions are two of several proportions that can be formed. In here, allow me to give this particular illustration. Yung first value ng x natin, kapag pinag-multiply mo yan sa first value ng y, alam natin kapag inverse variation, that is equal to k. Right? So second value naman ng x natin, x of 2, pag pinag-multiply natin sa second value ng y, we all know that the equivalent would be the constant as well. And as you can see, the constant are the same. So ibig sabihin, we can conclude and we can say that yung x of 1 natin, when you multiply it to x of 1, to y's of 1, that is equal to this particular given. So again, equal itong dalawang ito. So x of 2 times y's of 2. Okay? The first value natin sa mga given variable natin ay equal sa second value. Kasi yung constant nila from our definition ay always the same. Okay? Also, when you divide each side by y's of 1, okay, and y's of 2, ang matitira dyan, ang ganito na yung magiging bago nating representation. X of 1 over y's of 2 equals x of 2 over y's of 1. Mangyayari yan kapag divide mo yan both side sa y's of 1 and y's of 2. So this is gonna be the formula representation for you to find the proportion of the given unknown and the given known of the given inverse variation. Okay? Gamitin natin mamaya yan. But for now, let's have a first example. So dito, the following table shows the t or time t in hours taken by a car. Anong gagawin ng car dyan? Magta-travel. Okay, sana all. So, magta-travel tayo dito from Manila papunta sa Ilocos. Okay? Siguro mag-swimming yan. At various speed v in kilometers per hour. So, I use v to represent the speed. I use t to represent the time. So, you have to remember those things. Okay? So, the speed v is the first row in this particular table. These are the 30, 40, 50, 60, 80. Kapag pumunta ka na ng 80, mabilis na yung sasakyan mo. Kapag 30, sakto lang. Okay? Kapag naman yung time taken natin, ito yung number of hours. So, 4 hours, 3 hours, and so on. Sabi dito, kapag nagbiyahe ka ng may bilis lang na 30, then mas matagal kang magbabiyahe, 4 na oras. Kapag ang biyahe mo is 40, then mas mabilis ka ng konti. Kapag ang biyahe mo is 50, then mas mabilis ka rin. Pero kapag dumating ka ng 80, tuloy-tuloy yung biyahe mo, no? Hindi ka tumigil 80 kilometers per hour, ibig sabihin, yun yung pinaka-mabilis na punta mo papuntang Ilocos. So, there are varies inversely because yung speed natin, kapag yung speed natin, okay, yung speed natin na represent v ay mataas, then the time taken would be mababa. Okay, so mas mabilis ka kapag ka, mas mabilis ka makapunta doon kapag ka mabilis ang iyong biyahe. Okay, so, mas mabilis ang oras. So, ito yung mga kailangan natin sagutan. For now, let's proceed to the first particular given. So, the first particular given is to show that V varies inversely as T. Again, varies inversely as T. Nakita mo yung varies inversely? So, may gagawin tayo dyan kapag nakita mo yan. Papatunayan mo na totoo yung constant na formula. Okay? Ano nga ulit yung constant formula ng inverse variation? K is equal to V times T. Pero kanina gumamit tayo ng X times T. Pwede naman yun, no? Pero dito kasi gumamit tayo ng V and T. Again, ang V natin dito is the X. Ang Y natin dito is, ito po ay V, X, and Y. Okay? Yung V natin is X, and T natin is Y. Okay? Pero dito, for us to represent the speed, so that is the V. To represent the time, or number of hours, that is the T. Okay? So, kailangan na patunayan natin na constant term ang lalabas dyan. Para patunayan natin, let's solve for this particular given. So, 30 times 4, kasi ito yung VT natin, nagdagdag ako ng isa pang row, that is equal to 120. Right? So, next is 40 times 3. When we multiply it, we will write it here. That is equal to 120 as well. When you multiply this one, if you get the product, 120 rin yan. Multiplying these two numbers, that is 120. And finally, kapag pinakamabilis kang magbiyahe, then mas mabilis kang pumunta ng puntang Ilocos, sa kalahating oras, that is 120 as well. Okay, so napatunayan ba natin na pare-parehas ang ating constant? Then, kapag parehas ang constant natin, isa lang yung lumabas sa sagot, that is 120, then, we can show that the V varies inversely as T. Okay, so nakuha na natin yung ating first given. So, kompletuhin ko lang to, no? Yung 1 over V natin, mamaya kasi gagamitin natin yan. Yung 1 over V is 1 over 30. Okay, 1 over 30, that is equivalent to 0.0333. Next, yung 1 over 40 naman, 1 over 40, that is equivalent to 0.0250. Also, tutuloy natin, 0.0200. You can verify it using your calculator. 1 over 60, that is equal to 0.0167. 1 over 80, that is 0.0125. Again, yung 1, dinidivide ko lang sa mga speed na given natin dito. Okay? Beneficial yan mamaya sa ating graphing. So, because of T, V times T is equal to 120, that is a constant, V and T are inverse proportion. So, that is the correct answer. Okay, so we will graph this particular table. So, how to graph it? So, that first, you have to draw a graph. So, here we have the graph. Okay, so this is the graph. And, so dito ilalagay ko yung time. This is the time. Okay, this is the speed. Okay, there is the measurement for the particular speed. 30, 40, 50, 60, this one is 70, this one is 80. Okay, ito yung unang oras, pangalawang oras, yung tagal ng biyahe natin, pangatlo, pang-apat, at pang-lima. Okay, so now let's try to plot the points. So first, we have 30 and 4. 30 is, and 4 we have here, in here. So when we connect the dots, also 40 and 3. 40 and 3, dito natin makikita yan. 50 and 2.4. 2.4 is in between 2 and 0.3, somewhere here. Okay. Okay. Nasa pagitan niya ni 2 and 3. Dito yan 2.4 na yan. 60 and 2. 60 and 2, dito natin lalagay yan. 80 and 1.5, sa pagitan niya ni 1 and 2. Actually, nasa gitna yan. Okay, so dito natin lalagay yan. So, as you can see, the graph looks like this. Actually, extended yan. Okay? Hindi siya straight line kasi magkaiba kasi ito, no? We are looking for the graph T. The graph of T against V pa lang yan. So, this is a graph for this particular inverse variation. Okay? Now, for us to graph this particular letter C, ito na yung kaninang ginawa natin. Okay? So, I just want to copy this one. And paste it here. Okay, ito na yung nakuha natin kanina. Yung dahilan kung bakit ganun yung graph natin. Bakit kinuha natin tong 1 over V para makita natin na linear din ito, inversely variated. So, here we have the time. Dito mo ilalagay yung time. Also, dito sa baba yung mga 1 over V natin, 1 over V. Okay, so, here, ilalagay ko yung 0.0050, medyo maliliit yan. 0.0100. Also, we have 0.0200, and so on. Okay, so we have here, we have the 1, ito yung time, ito yun. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so if the time is 4, okay, we will plot the 0.033. 0.033, nandito yan somewhere here. Nandito yan sa part na to. Okay, hindi ko na pinakita kasi medyo mahaba, no? I think nandito yan. So, itatapatan natin tong 4. Ayan. Sige na, ipakita ko na sa inyo. Ito yung 0.022, 0.250 or 0.0250. Also, we have 0.0300 and so on. Okay? So, next is 3 and 0.0250. So, dito natin ilalagay yan. Ito yung number 3. Okay? So, ganito ko na lang siya ilalagay. Tapos, nandito yung 250. Ayan. So, dito ko ilalagay yon. Okay, next, 2.4 and 0.0200. 2.4 and ito yung, nandito yung 2.4, 200. Dito ko ilalagay yan. Okay? So, next, 2 and 0.0167. Dito natin ilalagay yan. So, we have 2 and 0.0167 here. And finally, we have the 1.5. Dito yung 1.5. And this, dito ko ilalagay yung 0.125. And as you can see, that is a straight line as well. Okay? So, for you to be able to see that that is a linear, kailangan mong gamitin to. Okay? And this particular time. Now, for our fourth given or fourth task, we will write the equation relating to t and v. Okay? For us to do that, no, from the first given, we have the 120 as a constant. Okay? This is gonna be the constant. Okay? Constant is equal to v times t. Yan ito ko ilalagay. Then, we all know na yung v and t natin is equal to 120. This is gonna be the equation relating to d and v. Now, find t when v is 100 kilometers per hour. So, paano mahanap yun? Of course, we use the formula. When v is 100, using this particular formula, no, v is 100. Pinalitan ko yung v ng 100 times t equals 120. Okay? So, finding the t, no, isolate natin tong t sa left-hand side. So, dividing both sides by 100, leaving us t is equal to 120 divided by 100. That is approximately 1.2. Okay? So, that is a 1.2 number of hours for you to na makakapunta ka ng Ilocos kapag ang biyahe mo is 100 kilometers per hour. Mas mabilis ka syempre sa 80. No? Mas mabilis ka makapunta sa 1.5 kapag mas mabilis yung iyong pagmamaneho. Okay? So next number, letter F. Now when V, find V. This time, V naman ang hanapin natin kapag given na yung time. So yung time natin is equal to 0.6. Okay? So we will be using the original formula here. So yung V ang hinahanap, yung T ay given na, which is 0.6 equals 120 as well. Dividing both sides by 0.6. Kasi ang goal natin mahanap yung V. Canceling this out. Okay, the remaining would be V is equal to 120 divided by 0.6. That is equal to 200. Okay, just imagine, no? Gustong pumunta ng Ilocos, from Manila to Ilocos, 0.6 yung oras mo. Kailangan mo daw mag-drive consistently ng 200 kilometers per hour. So, napakabilis nun. Okay? Ibig sabihin, walang hinto-hinto. Pag walang hinto-hinto, makarating ka ng Ilocos ng mabilis, pero biyaheng langit nga lang. Okay, so, now, here, naipakita na natin kung paano hanapin yung lahat ng mga given. So, from A to F. Now, I want you to try this particular given. Okay, so this particular given gives you this, ganun pa rin yung ating magiging variable, speed and time. Pero binawasan ko lang yung ating mga columns. So, tatlo lang po yung given speed and time. For example, number 2, suppose A varies inversely with B. May given a B, that is 4. A is equal to 1/2. And we are tasked to find the other A when B is 18. So, ito yung kanina, yung math tip natin na kapag may mga missing, ito yung pwede natin gamitin formula representation. Okay? So, sige, gamitin natin dito. This time, imbes na X and Y, gumamit tayo ng A and B. So, we all know that A and B are inversely proportional. Okay? Inversely proportional. Then, we can say that pwede natin gamitin itong A of 1 times B of 1 equals A of 2 times B of 2. Okay, yan na yung ating formula representation to be able to use this one. This time, papangalanan natin lahat ng mga given dito. So, itong 4 na to, papangalanan natin yung B of 1. O sige, hanapin muna natin A of 1 muna, no? So, A of 1, of course, hanapin din natin yung B of 1. Ano ba yung A of 2? Ano ba yung B of 2? Okay? So for us to find this, let's read the given. Ace of 1, merong given na A dito. Unang A is 1 over 2. Next, yung base of 1, that is 4. Okay, ito yun. Ito yung ace of 1, this is base of 1. Okay? And then ace of 2, yun yung hahanapin natin. Yan yung missing. Base of 2, that is going to be 18. Okay? Using the formula, this is gonna be the solution. So ace of 1, that is 1 half. Ace of 1, that is 1 half. Next, base of 1 times base of 1, ito yung 4 dito. Okay? Equals sa ace of 2, yan ang hahanapin natin. So isusulat lang natin yan dito. Base of 2, that is going to be 18 from the given. Okay, so for us to do that, we have to simplify this particular whole number and fraction, get the multiplication. 4 times 1 half times 4, that is going to be 2. Okay, so paano nakuha? 1 times 4, that is 4, divided by 2, that is 2. Equals, ace of 2 times 18, of course, we have 18, ace of 2. Okay, for us to find the second A, we will divide both sides by 18. Okay? So we divide both sides by 18, isolating the a squared because that is what we want to look on. So ace of 2, the remaining one would be 2 divided by 18. That is equal to 1 over 9. Okay, sa mga tatanong bakit naging 1 over 9, kinuha ko yung lowest term ng 2 over 18. 2 divided by 2, that is 1. 18 divided by 2, that is 9. And this is gonna be the lowest term. Na-reduce na natin into lowest term ang ating final example or given. And this is gonna be the missing number. The missing number is 1 over 9. Okay, so I just want to give you this one. Try number 2. Write it in your notebook. I-follow yung process kanina, kung ano ginamit natin, the method. Then, we will check it in our classroom. So, example number 3, another real-life application of inverse variation. So, the law of the lever states that to balance a given person seated on a seesaw, the other person must sit at distance d. So, this is going to be the first variable we'll be using from the fulcrum inversely proportional to its weight, w. Bongbong and Abet are trying to balance on a seesaw. Bongbong weighs 100 pounds and sits 4 feet. Okay? If Abet weighs 80 pounds, how far from the fulcrum must Abet sit so they would be balanced on a seesaw? So, dito, gagamit pa rin tayo ng inversely proportional formula, yung kaninang ginawa natin, because D, you all know that D and W are inversely proportional. Okay? So we will be using this particular formula, D's of 1, the first D, or first distance, times W's of 1, which is the weight, the first weight, is equal to this of 2 times W's of 2. Okay? So, ito yung mga given natin for us to use that. So, W's of 2. Okay, ang mga given natin for this particular problem are as follows. So, the given is D's of 1, W's of 1, D's of 2, W's of 2. So, okay, let's look on this particular part. D's of 1, the first distance is 4 feet. Okay? The first weight, no? Itong si Bongbong, no? Yung kanyang weight is 100 pounds. Again, yung weight ni Bongbong is 100 pounds. Ang distance niya ay nakaupo siya sa 4 feet from the fulcrum. Okay? Yung second distance, yun si Abet. Si Abet, wala siyang distance. Kasi ang hinahanap, how far? Tapos ang weight ni Abet, ang binigay lang is 80 pounds. So, ano nga hanap? Paano natin mahanap yung layo ni Abet dun sa fulcrum? Okay? Para maging balance yung seesaw. So, here, we have this particular formula. We will be using this formula. For us to do that, let's have this D's of 1. D's of 1 is 4. Times W's of 1, that is 100. Ito yun. Okay? Equals D's of 2. That is the missing one. W's of 2, yan ay 80. Times 80. Okay, simplifying 4 times 100, that is 400. Equals D's of 2 times 80, that is 80. D's of 2. Okay, so for us to do that, we will divide this particular right-hand side into 80 to basically isolate the D's of 2. Yun nga hanapin natin. So therefore, the final answer, D's of 2 is equal to 400 divided by 80. That is 5. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, si Abet, kailangan niyang umupo ng 5 feet malayo doon from the fulcrum para maging balance sila ni Bongbong. Okay? Again, thus, Abet must sit 5 feet away from the fulcrum. Okay, so that is the particular third example, the real-life application. Okay, I want you to try this one. Now, this time, si Bruno and si Alice. Read the problem and follow the method that I proposed in the previous example and answer this one in your notebook. Okay, let's have the final problem for this particular topic. The primary problem is the number of hours, T, required to finish a job. Okay? So, finish a job what varies inversely as the number of persons N on the job. So, T is the number of hours, N is the number of person na magtatrabaho. So, if 16 persons require 18 hours, so marami-rami na yan, how long to finish a job? To finish the job, how long would it take 64 persons to finish a job? Kung pansinin mo, yung una is 16, yung number of time na nagtrabaho sila is 18 hours. Ibig sabihin, kung mas maraming tao magtatrabaho, do you think mas mabilis ba yung kanilang magiging trabaho? So, tingnan natin. Pag-aralan natin dito sa ating magiging example. So, sabi dito, because the T, the time, and the N are what we should say inversely proportion or inverse proportion, then we can use the method that we used earlier. So, T's of 1, that is, when you multiply it to N's of 1, that is equal to T's of 2 multiplied by N's of 2. Okay? So, this is the first set of persons na nagtrabaho, 16 person and 18 hours. Ito yung pangalawa. Okay? So, ito yung mga given. These are the given. The givens are givens. Okay, given our T's of 1 is equal to yung pinakauna. So, ibig sabihin, ang mga nagtrabaho dito ay yung unang time ng trabaho sila, that is 18 hours. Okay? So, we also have N's of 1. Okay, N's of 1. Ito yung number of persons na nagtrabaho ng 18 hours. That is equal to what? That is equal to 16. Okay? Also, on the other hand, meron din tayong given na ito sa S of 1. Ito yung hanapin natin, no? Ang hanapin natin is how long. Pag sinabing how long, that is the time. Okay? So, T's of 2, yan ang hanapin natin. Then, given na rin yung N's of 2. N's of 2 natin is 64 persons. Okay? Again, 64 person ang N's of 2 natin. So, this is gonna be the solution. Using this formula representation, we can be able to find the particular solution. So, we have T's of 1, that is 18. N's of 1, that is 16. Okay? Equals sa T's of 2, that is missing. Okay? N's of 2, that is 64. Simplifying this one, 18 times 16, which gives us 288. T's of 2 times 64, that is 64 T's of 2. Okay, so dividing both sides by 64, that will give us T's of 2. Okay, T's of 2, pwede mo sulatan yan. T's of 2 is equal to 4.5 hours. Okay? So, imagine mo, no, kung mas marami pala kayo nag-work, no, 64 kayo nag-work, mas mabilis yung time para ma-finish yung job, which is 4.5 hours. Okay? So, the more, the merrier dito sa ating example number 4. And for you to practice this particular skill, I want you to practice the process and write and answer this particular try number 4. Follow the process in the previous example. Write it in your notebook. And I believe this concludes our session for today. It's a long way for problem for the inverse variation. And we hope to see you in our classroom. This is going to be the second part of our discussion.